Hello, and thank you for joining me for a dose of virtual vitamin Z. My name is Sandy, and I work for the Detroit Zoological Society. Today, we're going to start by looking at some pictures of some animals, and I want you to see if you can tell me what they all have in common. I first have a picture of a lioness. Next up, two giraffes, a chimpanzee, a gorilla, a grizzly bear, two vultures, 5 penguins, a tortoise, a water monitor, and a seal. So what do you think they all have in common? If you say that they live at the zoo, you're right. But they also all cooperate in their vet care. Just like you and I, animals need to go to the doctor and get checkups. Vet care is an important component to great welfare. Welfare means mental, physical, and emotional state, and it can be referred to as welfare or well-being, and it is determined by each individual animal. So animals can't use their words to tell us how they're feeling though. So we have to use other methods to find out how they're doing. So we can use observation, we can do, if we're worried about their mental or their emotional well-being, we can also use, if we're thinking about their physical health, we can look at their blood pressure, or maybe we need to look at their blood under a microscope. So how can we do this? The animals that live at the zoo, some of them are dangerous, and the staff can't be in the same space as them. So what if you and your doctor couldn't be in the same space and you didn't speak the same language? How can we evaluate? How could your doctor evaluate and monitor your health? Well, at the zoo, what we do is our goal is to do the monitoring and evaluation cooperatively, meaning work together. So our animal care staff work together with the animal to help have the animal help us help them. So the way that we do this is positive reinforcement training. And this training helps build trust and behaviors that are needed for the animals to help with their care. So I have an example for you. So the polar bears that live at the Detroit Zoo, right here, they actually can help the veterinarians by providing their paw to be able to, for the veterinarians to do a blood draw. So the way they do this is they actually take their paw and they put it into a box that allows access for the veterinarians to be able to take blood. So over the next few weeks, we're going to explore what positive reinforcement training is and how it can promote great welfare. An important part of positive reinforcement training is that there's trust between the animal and the animal care staff. So if you have a companion animal at home, you can do the same kind of training with your companion animal to start to build this trust and positive reinforcement training. So the tools that you're going to need, very simple. You need a clicker and you need treats. So when I say a clicker, I mean something that looks like this maybe. So this is a clicker, you press the button and it makes a noise. Sometimes if you don't have access to a clicker like that, you can use a pen and you can click. Or there's sometimes apps that you can get on your phones you can use as a clicker. Full disclosure, I am not a professional trainer, nor am I a zookeeper. I work with my companion animals to help make sure that their vet visits are less stressful. If you joined me last week, I talked a little bit about enrichment, and I also introduced you to my 3 companion animals. In these videos, I'm going to feature Abby. She's the one in the red square. She's 7 years old, and I've been working with her for fear-free vet visits for over 4 years. She's going to make these behaviors look really easy because she's super comfortable with them, and we work on them almost daily together. And this is the same for the zookeepers at the Detroit Zoo. They work with the animals that they care for daily for these behaviors so that the animals are comfortable with them. Working with a companion animal may not be as smooth as I make it look with Abby, or that the zookeepers do with the animals that they work with. It's important to take lots of breaks and to help these behaviors develop over in small steps. If you get stuck, reach out to a local trainer. Look for one that uses positive reinforcement training. The first thing that we need to do when we're doing positive reinforcement training is pair the sound with something good. It's called loading the clicker. This is actually one of my favorite steps because it's all good. Everything is really exciting. There's lots of food. It's all new. It's very exciting. So for this step, you're going to need a clicker and your companion animal. My companion animals are all dogs. If you have a cat, you can absolutely do this with a cat. You can also do this with a gerbil or any other pet that you have. Positive reinforcement training works with all animals. It's important to know that while you're doing this, that every time you click, it is a promise, and you must keep that promise. So every time that noise makes, you have to provide your pet with a treat. That means if you tuck it in your pocket and you sit down and it clicks, you better find a treat to give to your companion animal because it's a promise and you don't want to break those promises. That's part of that trust building I was talking about earlier. I'm going to show you a video of me loading the clicker with Abby. So there's a click, I pause, and I give her a treat. Click, pause, treat. Click, pause, treat. Click, pause, treat. Now, if this was the first time I was doing this with Abby, I would do it maybe 10 times, and then I'd take a break. And I'd do it maybe later in the day, and I would practice this with her a lot of times over the course of a week. You'll know that they start to understand something's good's going to happen when they start to see this clicker, and they get excited. Abby's really excited when I break out this clicker. She knows that something good's about to happen, and she's going to get lots of treats. Like I said before, we're going to visit this topic over the next few weeks so that we can work on behaviors that you can build with your companion animals to help make their vet visits less stressful. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you join us at 4 o'clock, we have my colleague Zara will be sharing a little bit of information about an animal that lives at the zoo. Thanks so much for joining me for a dose of virtual vitamin Z, and we'll see you later.